Oh, boy. Wow. Oopsie.
Similar situation. One time I was setting a manhole over in Milford, and the benchmark was on the grate of a catch basin. It was Monday morning, a lot of traffic, right on the edge of the road, and I went to set the stick down so that I could hit the target for the benchmark. The stick went right through the squares, right down, and it was a deep manhole.
Oh,
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 not fun.
oh.
Not fun.
I ended up taking the cover off with the excavator and a chain, and here I am, head over heels, upside down, right on the edge of the road with traffic rocketing right by me, saying, "Oh, this is not good."
Those sticks are not cheap too.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Mine 15 years ago was $250. I don't know what they are nowadays.
Yeah.
I can't open that, Missy. I have no idea what's happened. I can't open emails from you.
That's just weird. I don't understand that. Because I
Yep,
asked Tom
you're
and
the
Alan,
only one.
and they're able to. So
Yeah, I was able to open up yeah. So that's how we remember the card, what the card use looks like. So my thoughts are that maybe we can put the installer's permit on the front, and then do the certificate of compliance on the back.
There was another piece of paper in the envelope, and I neglected to bring that in with me. I'm opening one of the envelopes right now, and I believe it is the permit, right? Yeah. This is the disposal system construction permit for new construction. And it's got, I think it's a way above and beyond a little too much. It's very descriptive of each individual lot. Brian has many stipulations such as remove rock pile near proposed well location for future well permit. You don't have to put that on there. The excavator's going to do it anyways.
well, I think this is just this. I think it's just to make sure we have checks and balances for inspections, right? And
Yeah, that's the second page that I didn't bring into you. The
Okay.
construction job card I like, but there was some things on this also that I think we should go over.
okay. Well, it's a start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gets us thinking. It gets us getting ideas. Tom had said that maybe we should add the installer's permit number to the job card so that they have an actual permit with you guys. And he said something about the certificate of compliance.
Yeah, this,
If I may,
your turn.
I like the line that says system shall not be backfilled without required inspection sign-offs. I'd like to see that bolded.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
Okay. I found it.
There's actually a section in the code that requires that. We can
Yeah, but
reference.
we don't always get that.
Yeah, we can reference the code in it. So I think this goes to when Missy was getting people's engineers saying that, oh, the Board of Health doesn't have to do inspections. Well, it does say that the Board of Health has to do required do an inspection prior to the backfilling of components, and that's right in the code.
It wouldn't hurt to add it to the end of it, you know,
Yeah.
the code, and then they
Section-
can go look it up.
Yeah, 15 1 something. Yeah.
Brian also wants a pre-construction meeting on site with the design engineer, the installer, and him. I think that's a little bit over the top.
Only for shared systems and really complicated systems, I would say.
Yeah, but he wants them for everyone.
Yeah, not for for everyone that's over the top. at least contact the Board of Health. You're starting, but not,
Yeah,
on-site meetings are not needed. Yeah.
I don't think so. Alan, where did you see that line that you just read?
It's underneath contractor to schedule. Oh, wait, you don't have it in front of you, do you? It's right above
I
the
do.
inspections.
I have the card in front of me.
It's right above inspections as a minimum of the fall oh, wait,
It's part of the heading, AJ. One of the last sentence.
Okay. Oh, there it is. I see it. I got it. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that should be bold.
AJ, like in the past, we need something. So even if it's not 100% perfect, we can always tweak it. But we need something to plug the hole.
Yeah. Should there be some kind of verbiage that states if the shall not be backfilled without required inspection sign-offs, doing so may result in removal of system or disassembly of system or something like that?
no, probably more of a, enforcement on their license.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could negatively impact your license to operate in Mendon.
and it may require, it may require like a uncovering portions or all the system. Right, like you said, yeah.
Because that one up on Butler Road, Tom, is not the first one. It's probably not the second or third one, and typically by that same installer.
Yeah, well, it'll definitely, negatively impact him as an installer. And as a homeowner, the homeowner, I don't want to punish the homeowner so much, but we need to, in the case for Butler Road, by going back in there, we determined there were a couple things that were missing.
Yeah.
That they need to follow up on.
I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute for a minute. I have to call one of my dogs. He's amongst the missing. I'll be right back.
So I would say that this is at least a good start, and I can make some of these changes and then get it back to you guys for the next meeting for you guys to, I don't want to say make a final decision, because like Alan said, we need to get this out. We need to get this started. And we can always tweak it if we find we're missing something, or we've got too much on there, or, things like that. But I think you guys need to, we need to get this started, and I would like to for July 1st.
Yes.
I'm on board with that, and I mean we've found in the past that we've adopted things from other sources, and we found that either they were too restrictive, or they just didn't apply to us, even though they may work well in another town, and we've taken them out. So I mean it's always a work in progress, but if we don't plug the hole quick, we're just going to be, dealing with the same stuff that we're dealing with, and people are going to be looking at us like, what's the problem?
Right. Or you didn't tell me.
We got to get started. Yeah. Well, you should know.
Right.
But anyway, yeah.
You're hiring
I mean,
professionals.
this is definitely a move forward, and I mean, adjustments can be made on an annual basis if we find, things need to be tweaked, just like we do with everything else.
Yep.
I'm back.
Did you hear any of that?
I did. I heard it all.
Okay.
Did you hear me? Did you hear me bellowing?
Nope.
He's back.
Yay.
So this is a good start, and we can make notes and mark that up and make some changes. But I think this will get us to an end result that we're all happy with faster than trying to just do it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is plagiarism or not, but I don't think it is, because Tom Ryder worked on this, so I don't think it's plagiarism.
Like I told you, I tell any Board of Health, if I see something that looks good, I'm going to steal it. If it's on the web,
Yeah.
I'm going to steal it. So,
It's it.
Alrighty, so are you guys good with that, the whole card thing? I'll mark it up and then get it out to you and then,
Yeah,
okay.
We
The
can,
next-
we can call it, this, a job card and, installer's permit or something like that. And then have the permit number and like the same information that, I think Form like 1A is for the state.
Yep,
It just has a facility address, installer's name and address.
right, yep.
Tom, when you say permit number, are you talking about the installer's license number or the permit number for the construction of a field?
However we want to track it. So we haven't been tracking by permit number as far as I know. Because usually we use the application as the administrative application as the permit, but there's actually another form that we could use. The state has, which is you have a permit number that you can issue. But I'm not
Okay.
sure how Missy would like to track that.
I mean, I do have a separate logbook that has whatever comes through. I do issue it a permit number. So I can add where it says systems address, it says 43 Stony Brook Road. I can also, at the other end, put permit number 010, 01-21. Because I typically, whatever the number is in the book, and then the year is how I do the numbering.
Yeah.
And we can also add that the installers permit number for their license.
Yeah.
If it doesn't take up too much room, like I said, I'll mark it up. You guys look at it. We'll tweak it and then we'll have it ready for July 1st.
Yeah.
Missy, would you be able to do these on similar type paper so that because it's going to be a job card
Yeah,
as opposed to just regular?
yeah, I would buy cardstock for this.
Okay, good. And bright yellow like it is now also.
I might not do a bright yellow. Maybe I'll do a bright pink or something because
Oh, you said that. That's right.
the building department uses bright yellow. So I want to keep it where everybody knows if it's a bright other green or whatever, electric green, they know it's a Board of Health card.
Yep, I remember you saying that now. Thank you. I agree with Alan, though, as I'm reading this, system shall not be backfilled should be about half the page.
Right? So are you guys good on the card?
Yes.
All right. The other thing I sent you guys was the well permit. How we had I can't remember from the last time if we were making any changes to it where we wanted the well driller to sign, the property owner to sign, date. And then there's a little blurb in there. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at that little blurb or not to make any changes.
Can I back up for 1 second, please?
Yep.
On the bottom of the card, this certification, installer certification, isn't that redundant with a COC?
Yeah, that's why I was saying to add it as the certificate of compliance as well. So we can have so we can have the engineer sign it too and call it the
On the
certificate.
card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So would we need a COC if this was done like this?
yeah, we can create our own COC form and use this as a COC form.
Okay.
Put that on the back.
Is there enough room for all the information for a COC?
We might have to put it on the back.
Okay.
That's a thought.
Okay.
And if we choose not to do that, then we'll just take that out and then create,
Stick with what we have.
yeah, and stick with what we have, right?
Okay. I like that better, Tom. I know it's another piece of paper, but I think that's keeping
Keep it
that separate.
Keep it separate, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel about that, Missy.
To me, it's totally up to you guys, however you want to handle it.
Alan?
I'm on board with doing that only because if I read correctly, this job card is supposed to stay on site. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like at the end of the job.
You're
As
right,
far
right
as,
there, buddy.
Yep.
You know, it could be a little worn and tattered.
Mhm.
So, you know, just for the sake of preserving our paperwork or giving Missy something she can still scan with the scanner and put
Yep.
in the archives,
Yep.
I think we're better off keeping it separate.
Very good point. I agree. Okay, thank you. Going back there. Okay, the well thing, Missy.
Yeah, I just wanted to, there's a couple of things with the wells, but I just wanted you guys to look at the well application to see if there was anything you wanted to add, delete, whatever. And then we'll go on to the regulations.
Could you, again, I can't open it. Could you read to me, please, the statement about acknowledgement?
Yep, it just says, I have read the Mendon Board of Health private well regulations and agree to comply with all requirements of the document. I understand I must submit a water quality analysis, well driller's report, and disinfectant document within 30 days of the completion of my well.
And what did we decide as far as responsibility in following up on that? Were we going to follow up, or were we going to put it on them and say it's up to them to come back to you and check it out?
It should be, to me, it should be up to them.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the well driller and the property owner are signing. Missy, the only question I had was, do we need to spell out that the water quality analysis has to be done at a certified lab, or is that
Well, if
overkill?
they, I would say, that's up to you guys, but if they actually read the private well regulations, they would see that it says a Massachusetts State Certified Lab.
But wouldn't hurt to put it in there again
Okay. All right.
if there's room.
I understand what you mean. So I understand I must submit water quality analysis. What,
Performed by state certified lab.
I forgot to, yep. All right.
I just don't want them to think they can take it to Home Depot and put it in a bottle and see what comes back.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's a distinct possibility. Back to that paragraph, the very last line, I think that there should be something to the effect of what I said. I understand it's my responsibility to follow up on this process to make sure everything is copacetic. However that you want to word that, but I really think that we need to show them that it is their responsibility, actual words that says, it is my responsibility to follow up.
All right. So the old well permit, it says, what it states is, it says, please note that it is your responsibility to contact the Board of Health at 508-634, blah, 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 to find out if your water results have passed.
Okay, so that is in there.
So I will copy and paste that into the new one. Of course, taking some stuff out. And we were working that in there.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is it the response, quick question, is it the responsibility of the property owner to contact the Board of Health to see?
Quite often, people are intimidated by forms and applications and stuff, and they put their faith and their trust in the person that they're hiring. So, do we want to put it on the well driller because they supposedly have a little bit more expertise in this field? That's Alan. Do you have any thoughts?
I think property owner would cover it because that would be whoever the current property owner is, whether it be a homeowner, whether it be a builder, or, you know, general contractor that was hired to, you know, get something done. So I think that would be sufficient. I think putting it on the well driller, in the past, we know that we haven't got things back or paperwork back.
So,
They must, they're not as on the ball as I'd like them to be. So I would, I think it should be the property owner's responsibility, or whoever is hiring this well company, to do their job.
Tom, what do you
Back to
feel
you.
about that?
Is it Tom Fickner you're looking for? Is he
Yep.
in?
Nope, Tom's
Tom
not.
Fickner's not here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Tom's not here, man.
Yeah, if you say applicant or homeowner, I think that would cover it as well. It's
Okay.
incumbent on the applicant or property owner.
So what,
I have to step out for a second.
okay. So Andy, what I wrote was, I understand as the property owner, it is my responsibility to contact the Board of Health and our phone number or our email to find out if my water results have passed.
Sounds good. I like it. You like that, Alan?
I'm on board.
Cool. Thank you. Go with that, Missy, please.
All right, and then I will send this out to you guys right now. And then you can review it and
Are
give
you
the
in
final.
the office tomorrow?
Huh? Yes.
Are you in the office tomorrow?
No, I am not. I am in the Uxbridge Clinic. I only got that's 4 more Thursdays.
Okay, geez, I will have to come in and and see it.
Yeah,
Can figure out why.
yeah, that's just weird.
And the
Sorry,
thing is, I get emails with what I'm going through with my aunt and all the healthcare workers. I get emails all the time with attachments, and I'm opening all of them. It's just the Board of Health. I don't know why.
I don't understand.
That's on my iPad, and it always did work well before, and it's not that old. I'll have to see if maybe Lonnie can help me.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So I will
How
send.
is the clinic going?
Going relatively well. We've got, I think, 350 tomorrow night. During the day's a little light. I think we've got maybe 200, 225. Because a lot of them are the young kids coming to get, like my daughter's coming to get her second dose tomorrow. So a lot of the kids are coming after school.
Yeah.
So the after school one is definitely going to be busy, but it's going, and people are finding ways to get a shot, and we'll be done by, unless something changes, June 24th is our last one. Tomorrow is our last clinic available for people who want a first shot too. After tomorrow's clinic, it will only be second shots here on out.
Interesting. Are there still people trying to sign up for first shots?
To be honest with you, for our clinic, I don't know because I haven't logged into PrepMod lately.
Okay. All righty.
All right, so
Alan, do you have any questions on the clinic?
No, I did hear somewhere that they were stopping, reservations, almost like they had got to the point where you could just show up to these places and get your shot. I think it was maybe an email I got maybe from the state. Their pre-registration site, I guess, was no longer needed. We have gotten that far, which is good news.
Yep,
That's it. Back to you.
I think it's the big state ones that, if you came to Uxbridge and you didn't have an appointment and they've got the vaccine and you need a first shot, they're going to give it to you. They will register you right then and there. But I know the registration is going away. In fact, I got another email tonight from Aaron saying that those who are part of Prep Mod, if you haven't logged into your account in the last 20 days, they are inactivating them. So, yeah, things are starting to wind down as far as, local public health and the big ones.
Alrighty. I'm looking back, trying to find the, God, I'm drawing a blank. The kids with the money for school.
The scholarships?
Thank you.
Yep.
Those are sent as attachments. I cannot open them.
Okay. If you want, what I'll do is I will print them up for you. And I'll print up the well permit for you, and I'll just leave them here in the office tonight on the counter. And whenever you have
Okay.
time, just come on in and pick them up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's gonna have to work for me.
That's not
Was
a-
it always sent windmail.dat?
I have no idea what that is. You'd have to talk to Lonnie or someone
Yeah.
who understands that stuff.
AJ,
Yes, sir.
I'm very computer stupid, but I've found in the past, I've been told to like shut a device off and leave it off for a few hours and turn it back on. And sometimes something as simple as that seems to correct things. Either that, or I found in the past that I've ignored some updates, and I think it's almost the system's way of forcing you to do the updates. So if you're behind on some of those, that might be messing you up. That's it. Back to you.
Yeah, I have actually shut it off, and I'm looking right now and there are no updates. Thank you.
So the next thing I have for you guys, it's still regarding the private wells. We received an email from a property owner at 6 Elm Street complaining about his neighbor at 8. They live at 4 Elm Street. This is 8 Hastings Street, regarding rabbits. And they're concerned because they have a shallow dug well. Apparently, they're keeping unknown number of rabbits along the fence line. The fence line and the closest cage are only 6 feet from his shallow dug well. He's concerned about contamination. We don't have anything right now for distance for any kind of animal feces. So I don't know how you guys might want to handle that.
Missy, are these the two neighbors
Yep.
that we've, okay. My suggestion would be one neighbor talk to the other neighbor. But
Mhm.
if that doesn't work, we do have an animal inspector.
Mhm.
We haven't called on him in a long time because of COVID. So I have no problem. My opinion would be reach out to Max and have him check it out and, see if something can be worked out that would satisfy both neighbors.
Alan, do you remember
you.
the situation? Do you remember the
Uh,
situation, a new septic
I-
system being installed on Elm Street couple of years ago? And they wanted
I
the
do.
neighbor to knock the barn down?
I do. Call me optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, huh? No, that's a good idea. Let's send Max. We're gonna have some kind of action.
Well, and Max may know something that we're not fully aware of or up to date on that might dictate some sort of a correction, or may say that this is perfectly okay.
Misty, didn't you
But
say
it
that you
definitely-
emailed Max?
Yep,
So he's aware of it.
yep.
Would you email him and ask him if he could make an appearance and do an inspection,
Sure.
please?
If there is any concern about their well, they should be sending in their analysis. As far as bunny rabbits, manure piles, we don't permit manure piles in locations to wells, but from drilling wells to the manure pile, we do. So it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like some as long as they are sanitary, it doesn't seem like typical bunny use is going to be problematic. As long as there's like no swale, direct discharging wastewater or stormwater from the yard to the neighbor's wellhead. That's something we can look at just to make sure all the grading's proper. But what do the complaint actually say? Is there like manure piles, or is it just bunny rabbits frolicking in the yard?
What did I do? Hold on, I gotta get out.
Sounds like the cages are in close proximity to a dug well, not a drilled well.
Yeah, that's because I'm writing in regards to a situation that's just come to my attention. My property at 4 Elm Street shares a property boundary with the home at 8 Hastings Street that is separated by a fence. The homeowner, Randy Gebline, has placed a number of rabbit cages with an unknown number of rabbits along the fence. The fence line, the closest cages, is only 6 feet away from my shallow dug well, which is only about 30 feet deep. I'm deeply concerned of the contamination possibilities of this well, which we use for drinking water. Typically, the cages are constructed with wire mesh bottoms, which will allow waste from the animals to drop onto the ground. Many years ago, my wife owned a single rabbit, and the amount of excrement from one rabbit is unbelievable.
So putting in compost bins underneath the wire mesh is a solution, I guess. Is that what they're saying?
No, they're just, that's what he wrote.
Yeah, no, it sounds like he's saying that because of the wire mesh, it drops on the ground. But if they put a little collection compost bins underneath, that's potentially a solution right there.
So then he goes on, previously the cages were on a fence line between 8 Hastings and 6 Hastings. It was bad enough then, and still with all the flies that this attracts. The neighbor at 6 Hastings Street, Paul Crosby, and Sharon Dawes have also mentioned the fly situation in the past year. Last month, we even saw a rat scurrying off into the bushes. I can imagine that the pellets used to feed the rabbits would be an attraction for them. I would like to have something done about this ASAP, as I'm writing to you for help. Is there a town bylaw that specifies the specific distance that animals can be kept from a well? Thank you for your assistance in this matter. If you have any questions or would like access to my property, just to see how close my well is to the cages, please let me know.
Tom, do you think that in a situation like this, if we, and again, we're a farming community, so I certainly in no way, shape, or form want to try and inhibit that. But my question is, should the limits be very similar to Title V as far as septic systems to wells, whereas we have 100-foot distance with an absolute minimum of 50 with special circumstances? is that wrong to think that the animals should be under the same scrutiny?
Yeah, but we're not like permitting any wells, or, you know, they're talking about an existing well in a manure, I mean, so we're not permitting the manure pile. I think we have to just look at it as, the conditions.
Okay,
If they were installing a septic system, what are they got the 50-foot offset. You know, they're not drilling a well, so if they were to drill a well, I mean, technically, if we call this, a manure pile and we started regulating the distance from wells to manure piles, they would have to find a 100-foot offset to the manure pile for their well, because their neighbor has one. So
But-
it doesn't seem fair, but that's the way it is.
but, is it wrong to think that, I don't know, how do I word it? That the well is existing, someone puts an animal there, the animal should be kept a prescribed distance from the well. Is that not something we can control or no?
Yeah, because I don't think we, you know, I don't think, do we actually have manure piles in the distance offset? I don't think we do.
No.
And even if we did, is this really a manure pile? I would think the definition of manure pile is like a staging area for horses, like next to a barn.
The
However-
presence of the animal.
However, like if they start breeding rabbits like crazy, yeah, that could create a significant manure pile, right?
So would you have to permit animals now? To make sure you,
Yeah,
have
would
a,
that go under the animal control, right?
right, or would
So
that
that
be
would go under,
animal inspector?
yeah, so that would go under the sanitary conditions of how the animal is living.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a job for Max.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement there.
Okay, well, I'll see what-
Ultimately, it would be nice if the neighbors could say, hey, can you do me a favor? My well is right there. Could you please move the rabbits over? And they may move the rabbits. But then again, I wear rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, we probably could tell them they must not discharge the rabbit's waste so close to the well, and that they need to set up some sort of composting operation to collect the waste. So I think that's probably the best enforcement we probably could take.
I think the best thing to do right now is have Max go out there, do his inspection, see what he finds out. Because unfortunately, there's no permitting process for animals in town. So the only time we're really gonna know there's an animal issue is until someone complains.
Missy, just for clarity, the email that you got is from the people that were were for knocking the barn down in that last situation. Is that correct?
Correct.
So the people that have the rabbits, is that the ones that went above and beyond to fix their septic system?
I believe so.
So it's an ongoing feud. They weren't happy.
Could be.
Okay. Just so I understand the party's concerned.
Yeah, next time I'm in town, I'll take a drive by to see if the conditions do look hard.
Have you emailed Max yet to ask him to make an appearance there, Missy?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty,
So the next thing I would have done that. I think that's all we have for Tom Ryder. Andy, that I can think of on the agenda. We did the wells. We discussed the septic installation card. The only other things I have is for you guys to discuss the BNA, and then I will sign off so you guys can discuss how you're gonna handle the scholarships, whether it's just you guys look them over, because I know, Andy, you haven't read them, and you guys just send me, like, how Tom had put his, gave an initials for 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just send me an email saying I vote for 5 and 6, 8, 3 and 2, whatever it is.
Okay. Again, that paper that you printed, I had a very busy afternoon, the VNA, I did not look at it, so I didn't pick up.
That's fine. So, going back to the VNA, I forwarded you guys off some emails that Michelle had sent me, Michelle McGovern. And basically they're invoices that go back to September of 2020. For example, the bill that she sent for September, total COVID-related cases, 10 confirmed, 1 probable. Total investigation hours, 18. Telephone consult for COVID support, 6, and that was a total of $3,500. Then we go to when they started first doing the clinics in Uxbridge. She writes, from March 1st to March 31st, total cases, 31 confirmed, 16 probables, investigative hours, 72. COVID clinic dates and times, weekly, Monday through Thursday sessions covering multi-town vaccine coalition hosted by Uxbridge, telephone consult for COVID support, 35, and then the grand total of $3,500. I don't know if this was the billing you guys were looking for. But each month it's $3,500, and I have not paid anything other than that initial, I don't know if it's $3,500, whatever the initial one was back in, I think it was March or something we paid. But anything from January 1st until now, I have not paid. She also signed the addendum, which I sent off to you guys because she had asked me if I'd received it. I told her no. So I don't know how you guys want to move forward with this.
In my opinion, the big thing is the revamped figure. Okay, I find it very hard to believe that that was a typo when we made such a big stink. It took her so long to figure that out, and it took you talking to Ann and Ann talking to her to get this addressed. That's the big thing. As far as what I'm reading, to be honest with you, I think I'm okay with these two bills. Alan?
You said the first invoice went back to September 2020?
Yes.
I thought we were all paid up with that initial $3,500 up to December 31st of 2020.
That was my understanding.
Okay, so that's the way I see up till December 31st. That it was $3,500. They were paid in full, because at first we didn't even want that check cut until we got an explanation. So I feel as though we got the explanation, but it's also been paid for.
Well, you kind of got that.
Go ahead.
You kind of got an explanation, but Kim had already okayed the payment before you got the explanation.
Correct. And we weren't 100% on board with that, or I wasn't 100% on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
She paid it prematurely.
Whichever version you want to take of that. As far as January, February, March, April, going, in 2021, I'm okay with the $3,500 a month. I'm not 100% okay with it, but I mean, I know that they were working. I saw Ann at the clinics. You know, I get it. So as long as the money is available, I would approve the payment up until the end of June
Mhm,
or the middle of June when the state of emergency officially goes away.
mhm.
So that's my feeling on it. But as far as I'm concerned, 2020 has been paid in full. Back to you.
You in agreement with that, Missy?
I'm in agreement with that because that was what, the understanding was. And I would say yes, from January 1st till June 30th. With all of the clinics that have been going on, the homebounds I know that they've gone on. I'm okay with that. Anything before that, it had already been discussed that there was a one time, and I believe I even have an email with her agreeing to that. So I would just say, the only thing I would need is, and I'll print it up, is I'll need Andy for you to come in and sign the addendum as Michelle has signed it.
Okay,
Because it says in the addendum, letter C, this addendum shall expire, one, if at the town's sole discretion to discontinue, opt out, blah, blah, blah. Or two, the governor ends the COVID-19 state of emergency in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which we know is going to be June 15th. But we will have 2 more clinics after that. So that's why I would agree that for the whole month of June. Andy?
okay. If you put that together, I'll sign it.
Okay.
All righty.
AJ,
Will that, yes, sir.
I'm also in agreement with you that now that the correction has been done with the figure of 7,500 for the next fiscal year for the VNA, that, if all the services are going to be the same, I would be on board with renewing their contract now that the correction has been made. Back to you.
Sounds good. That saves us from having to scramble and try and find someone to have coverage for us.
I agree. But we still probably need to be aware that, the following fiscal year, we could still find ourselves in a situation.
Absolutely.
So, unfortunately, the I can't think of the correct word, but the trust level isn't there 100% anymore.
Yep, I agree. Okay. That it, Missy?
Yeah, that's it for me. I will sign off if you're going to discuss the scholarships. You all know, I have a child applying for one, just to keep it all clean.
It can't happen. I haven't read them.
Okay, so
All right.
then that being said, if you guys are all set, I don't have anything else unless you have anything for me.
Nope. Okay, I'll step down and make a motion to adjourn.
I need a meeting date.
You decide and tell me when it is.
I'm gonna say,
Second.
I'll say June 23rd because I am going to take the last week of June off. I won't be in the office on Monday. I'm trying to spend off as much vacation time as I can for the month of June.
Okay,
So other than that, Alan, you made a motion to adjourn. Andy, you second it, and the next meeting will be June 23rd.
vice versa, but that's okay. Really
Okay.
a technicality.
Well, I don't know if you can
is
step. I don't know. I don't know if you can step down and make that motion or not. But whichever. It doesn't. Whatever.
Okay. You figure it out and write it down. We'll agree to it. What, the 23rd, is that 2 weeks from tonight?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening. Have a good evening, Alan. Tom still here?
Yes, yeah,
Good
Have
night,
a good
everybody.
weekend.
We'll
Yep.
see you later. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, Tom.